YouTube, what's going on? Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for stopping by. And the NBA is officially back. The offseason is over, and opening night has just ended after two phenomenal games featuring the Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets and the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers. We're going to be talking about both games tonight. The first one, Nets and Bucks. The Bucks did walk away with a 127-104 win, and in the second game, the Warriors walked away with a 121-114 win. I'm going to start off with the Warriors-Lakers game, with that one has just finished like 2 minutes ago at the time that I'm recording this. And this is an interesting one. I want to say there's not going to be many hot takes in this video because it is opening night. It's nothing to overthink. But there's some question marks, I feel like, at least. For starters, the Warriors win with Steph having one of the worst games you'll see Steph have offensively. He still put up a triple-double. He had 21, 10, and 10 with 3 steals, 4 turnovers with only plus-minus of 4. But he shot 5 of 21 from the field and 2 for 8 from downtown. Overall, not a good Steph Curry offensive game, but you still win by 7. And it's crazy because if you compare this to last season, whenever Steph Curry goes to the bench, you're looking at a G League team. This team got so much deeper. The bench won that great run in the early to mid fourth quarter to pretty much get them like an 8 to 10 point lead. The Lakers then fought it back to like 3, but then Steph came back in, Draymond came back in, Wiggins came back in, and then they were able to extend the lead back and walk away with the W. Also for the Warriors, Nemanja Bjelica, man, 15 points, 11 boards, 4 assists, missed 1 shot. The way that he played for them tonight was great. A completely underrated pickup of the offseason for the Warriors. He was just picking the Lakers defense apart. I mean, catch, pump, dribble, drive, kick, find a shooter. It worked so well for them. He fits the Warriors system perfectly. And this man was just doing it all. Like I said, an incredibly underrated pickup for them. Plus 20, I'm pretty sure. He might have led, he led the entire game in plus minus with a plus 20 with him on the floor. Absolutely incredible how great he was tonight. With that said, the Warriors system, Andre Iguodala, I mean, he hasn't been, great the last, 2 seasons, barely been getting minutes in Miami, whatever. But the way he works in Steve Kerr's offensive system in Golden State is incredible. 12 points tonight, took 7 shots, but he just fits so well out there in that system, and the fact that he's back is going to help him and the team long term. Also off the bench, not off the bench for them, Jordan Poole started because there's no Clay. 20 points, 8 for 8 from the field, 4 for 11 from downtown. This man's got confidence, let me tell you. He is not afraid to pull the trigger at any time. He definitely took some questionable shots tonight at times, where he just was like, he would hit one, then come down the floor and throw up a heat check and miss a lot, miss really badly. But he played great overall, hit some great threes late game that were clutch, and he's gonna, be a 6th man of the year and most improved candidate for them going forward. When he moves to the bench when Clay comes back, but he's gonna be a great piece for them going forward, and it's gonna be important for how far this Warriors team can go. Draymond didn't play great, Wiggins didn't play great. Like I said, neither did Steph, but you walked away with the W in a game where you didn't have your young starting center in Wiseman, who won't be back for a couple weeks. And realistically, you're the undermatched team here. You're not supposed to win. You were the underdog, and you somehow walked into Staples on opening night and walked away with the W with your best player, the guy that won the scoring title last year, your 2-time MVP, having one of the worst offensive games you're going to see him have, and you still walked away with the W. And that is massive for the Warriors going forward and trying to gain that confidence. And it's crazy because, like I said, this team was terrible when it comes to depth last season. Now, the front office did what they needed to do in the offseason, made some moves, and now they're one of the deeper teams in the league, and it's going to help them out phenomenally going forward. Now, on the flip side of things, the Lakers. LeBron and Anthony Davis were LeBron and Anthony Davis. They both played phenomenal games, and it seemed like they were the only Lakers offense tonight. They combined for 67 points. AD had 33, 11, 2, 1, and 2. He missed 9 shots, 15-26 from the field. Great game from him. 2-7 from the line. Let it pass, whatever. But like I said, 33 points from him. He looked great, especially in that first half. Oh, we'll go back to the Warriors real quick. They need to still address their size problem. They had this issue last year, and they're still having it. They don't have tall players to deal with guys like Anthony Davis. AD was just eating in that first half. Like I said, he finished with 33. Then LeBron, 34 points, 11 boards, 5 assists, 13 for 23 in the field, 5 for 11 from downtown. I think he hit the most threes in the game. Yeah, he led the game with how many threes made. The next closest was Jordan Poole with 1 less. He started the game, I think, 5 for 5 or 6 for 6 in the field or something like that. LeBron looked phenomenal. You're 19, and I don't know how this man is doing it, but he's just different. AD and LeBron both looked amazing. And then for the other member of the big three, Russell Westbrook, 8 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 4 for 13 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, and a game worst -23 plus minus with him on the floor in 35 minutes. He was bad. He was bad. Both starting point guards for both teams were bad. Curry wasn't good and Westbrook wasn't good, but Westbrook was worse overall. And look, I'm not going to overreact. There's a lot of Westbrook hate on Twitter going on right now. I get it, but it is opening night. He's usually starts off slow. You know he'll pick it up. But the reality of it is this 0 for 4 shooting from 3 and 4 for 13 shooting from the field isn't going to help them. We talked all offseason about whether this team can space the floor. LeBron's not going to shoot 5 for 11 from 3 every night. It's not going to happen. You need Westbrook to either hit a couple of these threes or at least hit some of these middies. LeBron's not going to shoot 5 for 11. Anthony Davis 1 for 5. It's going to happen at times, and Westbrook 0 for 4. You need to hit some of these shots if you're going to be better. Westbrook also 0 for 0 from the line. Didn't get there once for a guy whose game is built on slashing to the basket and getting to the free throw line. With that said, I do think the officiating was kind of questionable, especially down the stretch, and also moving into the half, like the last couple minutes of the second quarter. It seems like they just didn't want to blow the whistle, which isn't a bad thing, but I feel like there was definitely some calls that were missed. I also think Frank Vogel's rotations were questionable. He definitely fixed it in the second half, but in the first half, there was running a lot of situations where Westbrook and Rondo would be on the floor at the same time, and Rondo would be the primary ball handler, and Westbrook would be sitting in the corner as a spot-up shooter. That's not going to work. The stats back it up. We know how he is as a career shooter. Having Rondo run the offense with Westbrook as a spot-up shooter won't help your team. It's one or the other, okay? One of them needs to run the offense, but you can't have them both out there because neither of them can spot-up shoot like that. Like Rondo shot 1 for 4 from the field, 1 for 3 from downtown. At least he hit a 3. But you can't have one of them spotting up in the corner for threes. It's just not going to help your offense. They got to work on the rotations. For the Lakers, this is a game you probably should have won. Like I said, if you have Steph Curry having such a rough game offensively, and you're at home, and obviously LeBron and AD play as well as they did, you should be walking out here with a W. So it's definitely unfortunate for them that they didn't win. At the end of the day, like I said, it's opening night. It happens. Move on. There's, 81 more. So moving on to the next game, or excuse me, the first game, the Nets and the Bucks in Milwaukee. It was a ring night. The Bucks got their rings, beautiful rings, by the way. I liked how they incorporated a QR code. That's pretty cool. Definitely a first in professional sports. And I would say this was the least exciting of the two games. The Bucks started off really hot, and the Nets started off definitely not. They were just very slow getting out the gates. And, the scoreboard 127-104 doesn't really represent, in my opinion, how the game went, because they, it went from like 15 points to over 20 when, in garbage time. So it really wasn't a 23-point, blowout, in my opinion. It was like within 15, but this game, the Bucks controlled from opening tip. Nobody can stop Giannis. Nobody. 32, 14, 7, and 2 blocks, plus 25, 12 for 25 from the field in 31 minutes. The dude was insane. Like, right from the tip, you knew he was going to go out there and do his thing. This man just can't be guarded at the end of the day. The Bucks are going to be really good, and another season we're going to show that Giannis is completely unstoppable. With that said, his teammate Chris Milton, 20 points, 9 boards, 3 assists. I feel like this was kind of a quiet 20. He definitely had, I mean, you can tell he was getting buckets, but I didn't know really he had 20 until I looked at the stats. It was definitely more of a quiet 20 from him. Drew Holiday left with, I think, a foot injury. I could be ankle injury, something like that. Hopefully he's okay. Don't want to see any injuries this early on. But from this game, man, I don't know. The 3 names that stand out to me in this one the most is Giannis. What is this guy's name? Jordan Nwora and Patty Mills. I'll get to the net side in a second, but Giannis, I just talked about, was insane. Jordan Nwora, he had 15 and 6. It felt like he had more than that. He was everywhere in the 26 minutes he played tonight. Like I said, it felt like he had like 20. This man is gonna work his way in the rotation like consistently at this rate. I know they're obviously hobbled right now. They're missing DiVincenzo. I think they're missing Sammy Ojeleye, Bobby Portis. But this man played phenomenal. And if he can keep himself in the rotation, he's going to be a big piece for the Bucks going forward. I don't want to overreact. It was opening night, like I said, it was just one game, but he played great, and that's going to be a great sign for Bucks fans, especially because I know the commentators talking about how they love his upside and his potential. Switching over to the net side real quick, KD 32, 11 and 4, 13 for 25 in the field. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like he was shooting worse than that. He definitely picked up in the second half, but in the first half, he was just trying to get into his groove. He was missing a lot of shots we normally see him make. Like I said, he had 30. I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of seemed like for most of that game, he just, like I said, he wasn't in his groove. I mean, it's opening night. You need to get your mojo back. But, the Nets, you'll move on. That's the reality of it. James Harden had 28 and 8 with 4 turnovers, and him and KD were both minus 20 when they were on the floor. Harden shot 6 for 16 from the field. At the end of the day, like I said, it's opening night. Nothing to overreact to, but there are some things that they need to address. The Bucks had phenomenal fluid offense and played great help defense, and Brooklyn was terrible on the defensive end. They didn't commit to contest 3-point shooters, and their transition D was pretty bad overall. And it's something they're going to need to deal with, like, soon. I also want to say that their bigs did not look good tonight, overall. Millsap was not great. Aldridge was not great. Blake was not great. James Johnson was not great. Nicholas Claxton was solid. I mean, statistically he was, but he had a lot of Giannis assignment along with Blake. And like I said, their forwards and their bigs did not look great tonight, and that's something that they're going to need to deal with going forward. Also, with that said, Bruce Brown did not play until garbage time. Definitely interesting decision for Steve Nash and the coaching staff to have their spark plug and a guy that was, in and out of their starting lineup last year not even get playing time until garbage time. That's something that we definitely need to find out more about going forward. But overall, between both games, the Nets, the Bucks, the Lakers, the Warriors, it's opening night. It's not time to overreact, but the NBA is back. Thank God. We're ready for like 5.5 plus months of every night basketball, and it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure you guys are too. Not time to overreact, but let's have a good season. Hope you guys know what you guys thought about tonight's games in the comment section down below. Smash that like button if you did enjoy this video. Hit that subscribe button to see more content from me. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Possibly. Maybe I'll upload more tomorrow. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy yourselves. Peace.